Some of the biggest names in the industry have made it seem like they're from the hood. Stay tuned to not miss out on a single one. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 7. Sean Combs.
Trying to be gangster. What are you talking about? The name of the song is called I'm Gangster. You're 5 zippers away from Thriller.
Diddy, Puff Daddy, B. Diddy, whatever you want to call him. The man known as Sean Combs is a legend in the industry, and yet despite what many people feel about him, and they feel a lot, trust me, his upbringing was arguably one of the more stable of all the rappers ever. Granted, his father's life was taken when he was 2, he was known to be an associate with a certain kingpin, but Diddy himself was nearly spotless as a child. He was raised in New York City by his mother, who was a model and a teacher assistant. He was then schooled in a Catholic academy and graduated with good marks. Diddy was even a member of the football team and he even got them a division title once. Makes you really wonder what would have happened if he had gone pro. Anyway, he tried to go to college for a business degree, but decided to drop out and pursue a music career.
And the only way he could grow was if he was going to have the same kind of corporate conversations that I was subjected to.
Oh, but not as a rapper, but as a music producer. He started off at Uptown Records as an intern, but slowly made his way up to a talent director, and through that position worked with many top stars, including Mary J. Blige. Later on, he would create his own music in Bad Boy Entertainment, and through that signed many big names, including Notorious Big, and many others, and many more. In fact, it actually wasn't until 1998 that Diddy made his first vocal track. So as you can see, he was very well established and successful before he truly uttered a note for others to hear. And now, well, he's worth billions of dollars, give or take, and is still producing music, has had many successful business holdings, is an actor, and the list goes on. And while his name may be changing constantly, his success is constant and undeniable. Number 6. Drake.
At all.
Yeah.
Did you ever expect it was going to turn out to be so huge for you?
I mean, I don't think you can ever expect anything like this.
At first glance, Drake could have easily been a guy who fell into the hood life, and all the markers were there. He grew up in Toronto, Canada, where he still lives to this day when not traveling, and his parents were divorced when he was only 5 years old. And to that end, his father would later be arrested in the United States, where he moved to after his divorce, and thus not be a part of Drake's life for many, many years. This also caused his mother to have to live with a very low income, which you would think would push Drake to go and do things that weren't so legal in order to save her, but instead he went to television. His friend had a father who was a talent agent and got Drake as a role as Jimmy Brooks on the very popular Canadian TV show Degrassi, The Next Generation. He played a former basketball player who got injured by a classmate. He was actually one of the more popular characters on the series and was on for 145 episodes. The money he made from that show went straight to his mother, who was very sick at the time and thus couldn't work. Despite his fame as an actor, Drake wanted to go into music, so not long after he was done with Degrassi, he went and made a mixtape, and the rest, as they say, is history. Drake would go on to become one of the most absolute biggest names in the world of rap, hip-hop, and much more. He sold countless records, albums, tracks, and has a record of the most streamed songs in a day. How about also the most songs on the Billboard Top 100 in a single year, beating the Beatles, and also #1 albums consecutively, and so much more.
Top 10s by any act in a single year ever. He beat the Beatles, who had the most before that.
He has his own record label now for raising up young rappers off the streets of Toronto, and is the global ambassador of the Toronto Raptors, and has hosted various award shows, including the ESPYs, and so much more. Oh, and did I mention he's worth over $100 million? Yeah, because he is. Not a bad former child actor, huh? Number 5. Kendrick Lamar.
That ain't me. I'd rather talk about my reality. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about something a little bit more deeper than that.
Alright, here, this one's a bit tricky, because he did grow up in an area that could definitely be called the hood, as it was Compton, California. He also lived in Section 8 housing, and his father was a member of a group called the Gangster Disciples. However, despite all of these events and facts, Kendrick Lamar himself has never been associated with such a group, and in fact, he was a model student at his high school, and even got straight A's, showing his mental aptitude and his ability to stay out of that life in the right way. Ironically, the only reason that he even went into rap was because he was in the right area at the right time, because in 1995, Tupac Shakur and Dr. Dre came to Compton in order to film a music video for their hit track California Love. And the music inspired Kendrick Lamar so much that he decided to go into rap himself. And he started pretty young too. When he was just 16, he released his first full-length mixtape, and that first release got him a ton of attention. It was just the first taste of what was to come. Kendrick Lamar now is considered not only one of the greatest rappers around, but one of the most talented writers and music makers ever. He even won a Pulitzer Prize for one of his tracks. The first time a piece of music had ever won that award. As if that wasn't enough, in 2017, he was the leader behind the Black Panther soundtrack for Marvel Studios, and it helped fuel the film to a massive box office take, and some Grammy Awards too. Not bad for a straight-A student, huh? Number 4, Chance the Rapper. Here's another one that's a bit ironic. The man you know as Chance the Rapper didn't grow up in the hood either, for he was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, where he still resides now, and he loves his hometown. And while he himself got into a bit of trouble by doing some bad things, it wasn't because of his upbringing. So why do I say that? Well, his father was actually an assistant to the former mayor of Chicago, and he was an assistant to then Senator and future President Barack Obama. Yeah, this was right before his presidential run, and there was a chance that his family would move to Washington, D.C. to go and be with Obama, but it never came to be. So yeah, his family was really powerful, and Chance knew that, and actually didn't care at first, but he did care about his music, especially when he heard a Kanye West song that he was going through Hyde Park one day. He dug what West was doing and bought his College Dropout album when it was released because he was so inspired. He would use his time at school to go and even do more music, including making his own little hip-hop group and make the debut title 10 Day, while he was suspended from school. This got him a lot of props and attention when it was released, and would lead to articles being written about him in various publications, including Forbes via one of their music columns. And Childish Gambino asked him to be the opening act during one of his tours. His career really took off from there, including getting him 3 Grammys for his album Coloring Book, worldwide acclaim and praise from his community for being a well-known philanthropist. Number 3, Post Malone.
You know, a lot of people saying that I don't appreciate hip-hop or I'm taking advantage of hip-hop.
Post Malone is definitely one of the more unique talents there is in the rap world. He has a style that is truly all his own, and his looks scream of a guy who isn't afraid to be what he feels like being. But how well do you think you know him in regards to his childhood? Because it'll honestly surprise you. He was born in Syracuse, New York, and raised by his father and stepmother. His dad at the time was a disc jockey, and it's through this that Post Malone got his first foray into music. And not just rap, but all kinds of music. His father taught him all sorts of style that stuck with him, and what might surprise you though is that what happened to him when he was 9. No, nothing bad. It was just that his dad was hired to be the head of concessions for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that may not sound like a big deal, but when you work for the Dallas Cowboys, yeah, that's a big deal. And remember, he was the head of it, which means that he was very well off. And it was during that time that Post Malone went and started to learn how to play guitar, inspired by Guitar Hero, obviously, and tried out for many bands, including a heavy metal one. In fact, he did many different genres of music before making his rap hit White Iverson, which got him the attention from both heavy hitters and the rap industry, and many music labels. Now, Post Malone is one of the more unique rappers presently, and his songs always get a lot of hits, and his visuals and his music videos are all usually either really colorful or really impactful. Number 2, Kanye West. Hey, I'm surprised as you are here. Given that everything that's happened the last few years with Kanye West, you think that he had rather of a harsh childhood and raised in a way that would make him the way he is now, but that's just not the case. The worst thing that can be said about West's young childhood was his parents' divorce. The twist here is that his mother was wanting for nothing, as she was a professor of English at Chicago State University, and then at the age of 10, he and his mother moved to China as part of an exchange program. Despite being the only foreigner in class, he did really well. He picked up on the language easily enough and got good grades. His love for the arts started when he was very young too, and his mother noticed it. Kanye liked to write poetry and draw and other things as are defined as the arts. His mother supported him fully and even went to college for various things, including art, English degrees. However, he would drop out because he could tell his life was meant to be in music. Again, his mother supported him and even became his manager. And the choice was a good one because Kanye is one of the most famous and infamous rappers alive right now. Currently, his net worth is around $250 million. And that's not just from music, but also from a hit fashion line and other business ventures. True, he's also infamous for his bouts of mental health and Twitter rants that result from them, but that's a problem in the now and not one rooted from where he came from. Number 1, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is very much an inspiration story, mainly because he was a guy who started out with not much and then used his personality to get to where he is right now, a star. His family immigrated to the United States, and early on in his life, he would listen to his parents playing Arabian music and be entranced by it. He wanted to go into music, and they were fully behind that. Khaled had a number of careers since then, including being a clerk at a record store, being a DJ, hence his name, at various places, being a producer, a radio station host, and more. It wasn't honestly until 2006 that DJ Khaled came out with his very first track, and one that debuted at number 12 on the Billboard Top 100. Since then, DJ Khaled has worked with many of the biggest names in the music business in some form or another, including Drake, Usher, and many more. He's worked hard for what he's got, and he's got no reason to blame his his upbringing for that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Were you surprised by some of these rappers who weren't from the hood? What ones shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.